Welcome everybody to the Latin Nerds Network. My name is Jose, and this is my review for Lightyear. It's Pixar's newest film, and I always look forward to a new Pixar movie. I love Pixar. It brings a big smile on my face. They're, for me, the most consistent, probably best movie studio over the last 20 years. They're giving us so much great stuff, and even when it's not great, even if the movies are just good, Pixar's good is better than most great other animation films, right? Pixar is the standard when it comes to animated movies. And, even over the last few years, whether it be Turning Red, which I enjoyed, Soul was good, Onward, Luca, all movies that I enjoyed, none of them have really reached that top tier Pixar level, which is easier said than done. Not every Pixar film can be great. I think the last great one was, for me, was probably Coco, about what, 3, 4, 5 years ago, whenever that was. But that being said, even the good stuff, it's still fine. It's still very entertaining and enjoyable. So can Lightyear be that next great film? Maybe break the suspense. It's not. It's just not top tier Pixar level film, but this is good, entertaining sci-fi adventure, of course, starring Buzz Lightyear, voiced by now Chris Evans, and which I enjoy. This is a very enjoyable family film, as what Pixar normally does and has been doing over the last few years. For me, it compares, a lot to like Soul and Onward, and the last few movies that Pixar has made. It's just not a great one. I wanted something great. I always want something great with Pixar, right? But I don't want to hold that against this film. I know it's hard not to compare it to Pixar's greatness. We always have a tendency to do that. But nonetheless, it's not a great film, but it's still a good Pixar movie ultimately here. And this is interesting because I know this is not really a Toy Story movie. It's not. Yes, it has Buzz Lightyear. I get it. But this is far from anything that we've seen from Toy Story, right? And I like how at the beginning of the movie, it sets it up. It says, paraphrasing here, but obviously, Andy, of course, the kid from the original Toy Story movies. This is a movie which this is his favorite film that he saw in, that universe, quote unquote. And obviously, he ended up getting the Buzz Lightyear toy, which is based out of the main character of this Lightyear film that we're watching now. So interesting, interesting idea. And we have you, of course, Buzz Lightyear, who is a space ranger. Him and his, partner Hawthorne, space rangers who are, protecting about 1,200 citizens or so, which are exploring the space, the universe, about 4 point something million miles away from Earth, and they land on a planet. And of course, Lightyear and Hawthorne go out and make sure that the planet is safe and habitable. They soon find out that it's not. Now, in attempts to leave the planet, Lightyear makes a little bit of a boo-boo, a little bit of a mistake, and now everyone's marooned on this planet. So now Lightyear, who wants to finish the mission, make amends for his mistake, he has it inside his desire to make things right. He's doing anything he can to correct it and get everybody out of there, but it comes at a cost. I don't want to say exactly what it is because it's a spoiler, and it's kind of referencing another movie which I will mention because it will kind of lead you to kind of put two and two together here. But things that he does to attempt to try to save everybody or get him out of there has a cost, and it leads to something which a detriment to him. And what's interesting is that everyone else around him, they're moving on with their lives. They decide they're there, they're gonna make the best of it, continue their, build a society, etc., etc. But Lightyear refuses to move on. He wants to do whatever he can. That's what the basis of the film. And listen, it's an interesting premise. The first 30 minutes are really good. I love the setup and what's going on, introduction to the characters. This is the cat socks, which is really great, kind of steals the show as far as I'm concerned. And there's a great emotional moment in there that really hits it. And Pixar always does well with, pulling the heartstrings. It just does as good as anybody else. I wish I would have saved some of that for the end of the film, because every great Pixar film, for the most part, has had that real emotional gut punch towards the end, right? The moment of the revelation or whatever the case is, and that always kind of elevates the film. This movie kind of lacked that, which goes back to why I don't think it's a great Pixar film. Not because it didn't have an emotional moment, because the story didn't lend itself to have a great emotional moment at the end of this particular film. The story is okay. After a great introduction, it kind of just settles in and becomes standard sci-fi adventure fare, which is fine. It's fun. It's got some good funny moments. It's entertaining. The animation, of course, is Pixar top notch. It's better than anybody else. Obviously, the detail, cinematic presentation, I expect nothing less from Pixar. Even if the movie's not great, the animation is always great. But the story itself, I wish that would have gone a little further. Really give us an interesting sci-fi idea and premise here, and they played it safe. Again, it's a family film, so I get it. But we've seen them give us great ideas and these high concept ideas like Inside Out. and conceptualize in a way which is, you know, family to kids and to the adults, and then you understand it. You can still give us something unique in that way. But this movie doesn't do that. It's very kind of by the numbers action adventure film, which is set out somewhere in space. It was good. I liked it. I think families are gonna enjoy it. It's entertaining, but ultimately, it's not a great film. It's not a great Pixar film, and I think, which is kind of, and the reason why it bothers me a little bit more is because there was the premise there to give us something interesting. It was a good sci-fi film from Pixar, which I don't think it really got before. So that was just an opportunity, kind of squandered. But again, I'm just, you know, I just what I wanted shouldn't affect how I feel about the film, but just can't help itself, right? Because you know the ideas were there. But all that being said, listen, besides, you know, the story was again the issue, and there's one reveal in the third act which is interesting, and they could have explored more, but they didn't. And when you think about it, it kind of didn't quite make sense. And that's what I'm talking about, where they kind of squandered opportunity, right? But listen, ultimately, still a fun film. I still recommend it. It's summertime. The kids got nothing to do. Take them to the film. They're gonna enjoy it. Great family film. Good family film rather. From Pixar, what you expect from Pixar and what you gotten from them over the last few years, which is good. Just not great, but that's okay. Not every movie can be great, and not every movie from Pixar can be great. All you can ask for is to be a good, fun, family, entertaining film. It's exactly what this is. So I'm definitely recommend it. It's very enjoyable. If you guys do watch it, you see it, let me know, comment below, let me know what you guys thought. And of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe below and feed money to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.